Hello. It's me, Louis Garrett, one part of the Lutheran team, here to bring you another video vlog, blodio, whatever. Talking to you about some stuff that we've done recently, and this time we're going to look at the subject of sketches. So that's what today's thoughts concern. I say today, it's the same day as the other video. All I've done is I've gone to bed for a little bit and put on a new shirt to look fresh and new. Please don't tell anybody. But yes, it's a new day and in my head. And I looked at the last video and I realised I kept going and I kept going and I kept smacking my lips, which I found so grating and annoying. I was going to turn myself off. Hopefully you didn't. Hopefully you're listening to this one. If it did annoy you that much, then hopefully you've managed to get over it and you're at peace with me and the way that I am presenting. So, as Lutheran's production line of images for 21 Doors increases, we had basically an in-house competition to see who could draw the best stuff. If you haven't gone around our site yet, if you're completely new to all of this, 21 Doors is the first series book that we're producing for our application that we're developing for iOS and for Android, designed specifically for tablets, because tablets are a little bit larger and a little bit more booky sized rather than smartphones, but it will work on smartphones as well. And basically the entire app is being designed to help children learn to read, and to help them learn to read with an instructor of sorts. So I think in the ideal world, parents would like to think that they have enough time, they have enough energy to read to their children at the end of the day. But then reality kicks in and we don't always have that ability to make the time, or the time that we have, we'd like to devote it to something else, whether it's your partner, whether it's different friends, whether it's just the TV, and you have that need to relax. And I think that kind of need to relax is definitely not appreciated as much as it should be. Everyone needs to relax, everyone needs a way to find calm. My dad used to go to the driving range and he used to smash balls as far as he could. I used to go running. I used to cycle home from work. The cycle was an hour long. And after I got home from that cycle, I used to just feel like I had completely unwound from all of the shit, basically, that kind of comes at you from all directions. So Read Together is going to be an app in which there is a fully illustrated book, not new in itself, but with that fully illustrated book is going to be audio. So every single book is going to come with narration. We're getting each book narrated. For the first series that we're producing for this, for 21 Doors, there's going to be 21 books. See what we did there? Each story follows the life of one family from each series. Each book of that series will follow the life of one of the families behind one of those 21 doors. The first 20 will follow the lives of the children and their family. The 21st book will explore what happened to the family that lived behind the 21st door, who throughout the entire series are this kind of big unknown that no one really talks about. And all everyone knows is that Freddie and his family went missing. So it's magical, it's going to be it's going to be really fun. It's not limited to the real world. There's going to be ghosts, there's going to be travelling in time, there's going to be lots of little gnomes and bits of jewellery and flying around, and the whole thing's set in winter, so expect lots of kind of flurries of hail and twirling snowflakes. So we had an in-house competition because Catherine's going to be completing all of the illustrations for the entire series, but I like to think I can draw. I can't, but I like to think I can. Mum tells me I can. I can't. Not really. And naturally she won the competition. Shock horror. She was absolutely incredible. She produced some really good stuff really quickly. And despite the fact that she does go to design school, and despite the fact that she is drawing constantly, she wanted to kind of warm up first. She was unsure of what she wanted to draw. And so Catherine produced a sketch that can be found on the bottom of she produced the sketches that can be found on the blog for the 16th of February. I'll try and stick it into this video if I know how. If I'm currently talking, you can't see me because there are two videos of Winnie the Pooh and Christopher Robin. This is why, because I really, really want to share these images with people. I think they're absolutely fantastic. they're great, and they're finished in watercolour. I managed to scan them in, which is the same system I'm going to use for illustrating these books. Scan them in, get them onto Photoshop, cut out the images, and then paste them in, and they look great. And when I was watching what she was doing, when I was watching kind of the process that she goes through, I was just struck once again by just how many forms talent comes in, and that in so many instances, it's easy to see how and why someone is far better than you are at something. So, for example, if you are a runner and you just get outpaced completely by this far better runner than you are, you can look at the length of his limbs, you can look at his body type, you can look at his weight, you can talk to him and find out about his lung capacity if he's got that to hand. You can ask him how many times he trains, you can find out what he eats. It's all very kind of quantifiable. But then there are other things, other talents that just completely are not quantifiable. For me, they are unknown, and they are far, far harder to understand. And unfortunately, my phone's ringing, so I need to pick that up. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I think if I can edit this correctly, it will look like I went down, picked up my phone, and then I just kind of came back. I don't know. Let's see how that works. Anyway, so I was talking about how quantifiable talents are, and there's like that difference between the quantifiable talents that you can look at and you can understand, and then these other talents that I just do not understand. And so if we're talking about drawing and painting, this conversation coming out of the competition I had with Catherine, I can see exactly the same image as her. You know, we're both drawing and painting the same image. My eyes work fine as long as I'm, not too far away from something. Other than that, my eyes work fine. I don't think I'm colourblind. And, I'm slightly cocksure. I would claim actually to have better coordination than her. I think my coordination is very good. I've never been found wanting. I think my handwriting is fairly neat. Some of my family members suggest it isn't, but that's their own. It's there we go. So we have exactly the same colours available to us in the palette. We're working on the same paper, and yet she bests me in terms of the quality of her drawings time and time again. And if I figure out how to insert these images, there's another image that I drew of Alice in Wonderland. And I painted it too, and I'm a little bit happy with the shadings that are going on. If I'm putting it on the screen right now and it's right here, then you have a look at it. Look at how rosy her cheeks are. Look at those strands of brown in her hair. Look at the different colours in her bow, where the sun was getting it and the sun wasn't getting it. I was so happy. Okay, her skin is odd. It looks like some weird parchment, but I didn't realise that we had purchased a skin tone pencil. That was hidden from me. Maybe that's why I lost. It's just trickery. Maybe it's not. Anyway, so we were both painting and drawing Alice in Wonderland shortly after the images of Pooh Bear and Christopher Robin, and I thought I had drawn the cheeks correctly. I thought I'd done it perfectly, and then I kind of compared the two together, and it was very clear that I hadn't. And it was just incredible to see this large difference in talent that I don't see how to quantify, because for me it made the talent so mysterious. It made it exotic because I do not have it. And in the same sense, for those that do have the talent, the absence of it in someone else is just flabbergasting. Why can't you do this? I was a teacher for 2.5 years, 3.5 including my training. And I know that maths teachers like to get up on their high horse about this and say, why can't they get it? They're just so stupid. And the number of times I heard the word stupid being thrown around in the staff room, I'm so glad I'm no longer there. And when I was thinking about these sketches and the different talent, I was reminded of this kind of long-held truism that it takes 10,000 hours or some multitude of 10 to achieve an expert level in a discipline. And although this theory has now been thoroughly debunked, and actually it was only in some very niche motor coordination, fine blah 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 with violins and blah blah blah, But with this kind of track to talent and perfection, being, with talent being shorn of an endorsed route to success, what can the talentless aim for now? And I say talentless, yes, I'm not completely talentless. I do have a little ability when it comes to drawing and painting, just not the kind of ability that someone would pay for. I think that's what I'm really thinking about. Are you so talented that someone would pay for what you're producing? And I'm not. So how do I get there? And I think that the healthy option for everybody would probably be to focus on fulfillment. It would focus on happiness, and to not look at how green the artists on the other side of the road can paint their grass. And I found it interesting once to listen to a maths teacher, and he's a maths teacher that used to teach at the school I was at. He was quite quiet. I think he was quite quiet. He was quite thoughtful, and he travelled around the world. He was from South Africa. So if you're listening, you know who you are. And I found it really interesting when I listened to him and him claim that the reason Europeans are not as a populace, as a population, good at maths is because we have convinced ourselves, we've bought into the narrative that math is either something you get or you don't. Adversely, if you look at the way in which the Chinese approach maths and school for that matter, with this belief that if you work hard enough, you will get it. And so they don't let students who are on the Chinese equivalent of a C, D, E, F kind of slide away on this kind of belief of, I don't get maths, I either get it or I don't. They push them. And there are two results of this. One result is that the Chinese have a fantastic reputation around the world for excellence in mathematics. The other result is that Chinese suicide rates among school children age is the highest in the world. I don't know if those two are mutually exclusive or if there's something else going on. But it was just interesting. Is it worth pushing yourself? Yes, if it's going to bring you fulfillment. And I was recently looking at job offers, lots of different jobs, flying around, trying to get myself back in something a little bit more permanent, just in case Lutheran doesn't pull off. It will, but in case it doesn't. And so many of these jobs needed, that I was interested anyway, needed some sort of experience in accountancy, in Excel, in data management, in website design, in coding, and I don't have that. And how am I going to get myself to a level where I am good enough to be able to go to one of those companies? Because I've had it with teaching completely. How do I get good enough? I think with something like that, maybe 10,000 hours will be good enough. Maybe. I don't know. I'll look at it. I'll think something. But it made me think about what I'm trying to launch myself as. How does one become a good writer? Or with Catherine, how does one become a good painter? And I wonder if it's just bringing us back this age-old debate of nature versus nurture. And I've got no hope whatsoever of being able to shed any further light on a subject that centuries of enlightened discussion has not been able to illuminate completely. Yet, if it is something other than nature, or my ill-spent nurture, could I one day paint Pooh Bear with 2 recognisable ears and a recognisable nose and scratchy fluff that makes you want to kind of hug him and push him away at the same time? I don't know. But if there is a way to improve your talent to the point at which other people will look at you and think, I do not know how they've achieved that, then please let me know. Much Lutheran.